Yes, welcome back again to the delegates, participants, friends. Now we have been doing this debate. I think there are other countries want to join this debate. Therefore, I will give the floor to Sweden. Over to you, Sweden.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairperson, and good day to all. And I hope everybody have had a good lunch. Actually, at this point, Sweden would like to refer to actually being in line also with what has been said by our colleagues, our esteemed colleagues from Botswana and Czechia about the question of not having referral reference to the World Heritage Convention, because it might be difficult to understand that they are quite different per se. So, and also understand that our esteemed representative from Saudi Arabia actually was also open for that. So I would just like to make that clear, that we see a point that there is no reference to another harmonization, no reference to any harmonization to another convention. Thank you very much, Mr. Chair.
Yes, thank you very much. And now I would like to invite Switzerland. Over to you, Switzerland. Yeah. Oh, okay. We can give Switzerland later, since not ready. Therefore, I'll invite Japan. Over to you, Japan.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Well, I just want to be very clear about where we are at this moment. So, Brazil proposal is there, and then Brazil wishes to delete the last part in relation to the harmonization. So with that deletion, I think we can support the current proposal as amended by several people. And let me stop there. But in case there are countries who want to have more time for considerations, we can discuss this in the working group. But if the last part, harmonization part is deleted, as a country, Japan is okay with it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Japan. Thank you. And yes, I think Switzerland back.
Yes.
Yes, please. Over to you,
Monsieur le Président. Désolée, j'avais un peu de retard. Merci de me donner la parole. Écoutez, sur la ligne de ce que le Japon vient de dire, et après avoir écouté toutes les interventions sur la très intéressante proposition d'amendement de l'Arabie saoudite, l'impression qu'il en ressort est que toutes ces questions qui ont été abordées et qui sont nombreuses et variées en fait, sont pour une bonne part sont des questions qui sont toujours en discussion, dont la discussion a commencé ou dont le groupe de travail devra discuter. Et l'impression que j'ai est que ce n'est peut-être pas encore mûr pour être mis maintenant dans un tel amendement, en particulier aussi sous ce point 8, et nous serions justement plutôt de l'idée de laisser au groupe de travail la discussion sur ces points-là. Néanmoins, la première partie de l'amendement proposé par l'Arabie saoudite nous paraît tout à fait bon et nous le soutenons. Donc, nous soutenons l'amendement saoudien initial dans sa première partie, jusqu'à files, jusqu'à la qualité des dossiers de candidature. Et voilà, nous pensons que la deuxième partie devrait faire l'objet de discussions dans un autre cadre qui est le groupe de travail. Je vous remercie.
Thank you very much. And I would like to give the floor to Djibouti. Over to you, Djibouti.
Merci, Monsieur le Président. Monsieur le Président, ce qui s'inscrit facilement se comprend aisément. Je crois que notre collègue de l'Arabie Saoudite avait déjà enlevé le World Heritage Convention. Je crois qu'une proposition a été mise par l'Arabie Saoudite. Le Brésil l'a amendé. Nous avons fait quelques propositions. Si cela peut apparaître sur un texte consolidé, je crois que ça va nous faciliter. Si vous permettez, I have a language, if we can accept this language. We commend the Secretariat and the evaluation body for the progress made through the dialogue process initiated to enhance the quality of nomination files and encourages it to support capacity building programs, specific upstream processes, and preliminary assessment procedure. We don't have the World Heritage Convention, and we have at least, it captures everything that has been said by everybody, or if we can see that.
Yeah, we have it on the screen, please, Deputy. Thank you, Deputy. And now I would like to invite the floor to Poland, please. Over to you, Poland.
Thank you, Mr. Chairperson. Sorry for not being specific on the point 7. However, as our discussion goes back already several times to the possible tasks that could be discussed by the third meeting of the open-ended intergovernmental group, we wanted just to make clarification for us all if we can mention this possible working group, open-ended working group, new tasks before the decision on the extension of the mandate of this group is being taken in point 14. So just to make it very clear, because many colleagues already talked about it, including the distinguished ambassador of Japan. Thank you.
Yes, don't worry. And now I would like to invite, yes, Saudi Arabia. Over to you, Saudi Arabia. The floor is yours now.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. I agree with my colleague from Djibouti that the text that has been cleaned looks satisfactory to us. But listening to our colleague from Switzerland, which has a very valid point, she has a very valid point there. We can add before the word, if our colleagues can follow, the last sentence and preliminary assessment procedure, we can add before that and invite the open-ended intergovernmental working group in the framework of the global reflection on the listing mechanisms of the 2003 Convention to reflect or to advise on the preliminary assessment procedures.
Yes, I think we can help you on that. And after Botswana, yes.
To reflect as appropriate. Yeah. Sorry, thank you, Chair.
Yeah, I'll try. Yeah, okay. Let's open to Botswana, please.
Thank you, Chair. Now I'm getting confused. I was going to comment on the Djibouti amendment, but then the Excellency Ambassador of Saudi Arabia has just made an addition, and I was hoping I could see the addition before I commented, but I don't see the addition, which was based on the intervention by Poland. Can you hear me?
Yeah, but can I have that proposal, dear Secretary? Yes, please. Go ahead, Mr. Tim Curtis.
Thank you, Mr. Chairperson. I'm just trying to understand that indeed that there's an idea of support of that paragraph supported by, proposed by Djibouti. But there is an acknowledgement by a number of countries, Switzerland, that some of these processes would still need to be developed and therefore maybe would need to be incorporated into the discussions of the open-ended working group. At least this is how I'm understanding now what is coming. So perhaps we can just try to get the paragraph, and if I may, just propose something from Djibouti's paragraph, which commends the Secretariat and the evaluation body for the progress made through the dialogue process initiated to enhance the quality of nomination files, encourages the Secretariat to support capacity building programs, and that we can do because we have capacity building programs. But we don't yet have specific upstream processes and preliminary assessment procedures. So, and maybe we could add after capacity building programs, and encourages the open-ended working group to reflect on developing specific upstream processes and assessment procedures. And that way it could always come back in item 14. This is a proposal that may meet the various points of view that seem to be coming across. Thank you, Mr. Chairperson.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I think now we can. Yeah, again, Czechia. Yes, all to Czechia.
Merci, Monsieur le Président. Alors, en fait, nous voudrions supporter l'amendement proposé par Djibouti et amendé maintenant par le secrétariat. En fait, c'était surtout pour revenir à ma question d'avant le déjeuner. Est-ce que le secrétariat pourrait nous dire qu'est-ce que c'est ces processus spécifiques en amont et procédures d'évaluation préliminaire, mais si en fait on va en réfléchir dans le cadre du groupe de travail, j'imagine qu'on aura la réponse plus tard. Merci.
Anybody? Yes. I think Switzerland needs the floor. Over to you, Switzerland, please.
Merci beaucoup. Écoutez, c'était pour vous confirmer, vous dire que la proposition telle qu'amendée par le secrétariat, donc de Djibouti, basée sur l'Arabie saoudite et amendée par le secrétariat, répond en fait à nos attentes et nous la soutenons aussi si elle obtient le consensus. Merci.
Yeah, now I would like to ask whether dear colleagues, whether okay with this proposal. Yeah? Yeah, I think Azerbaijan wants to come to the floor. Yeah, over to you, Azerbaijan. The floor is yours now.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, for giving Azerbaijan the floor. Would support the proposal of Djibouti as amended by the Secretariat. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I think Cameroon is there now. Yes, over to you, Cameroon.
Le Cameroun voudrait également se joindre à l'amendement tel que modifié. Je vous remercie.
So, thank you very much. I think everybody's consensus are there. So now, therefore, I would like to, paragraph 7, yeah. Yeah, again, yeah, Sri Lanka needs the floor. Please, over to you, Sri Lanka.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Sri Lanka also would support the proposal of Djibouti as amended now.
Thank you very much. Thank you. That's great. So, yes, anybody else? Yeah, I think China needs the floor. Over to you, China, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairperson. After following all of these discussions among the committee members, my delegation would like to follow this current amendment proposed by Djibouti as amended by the Secretariat. But before we go to adopt this paragraph, we would also like to hear some clarifications from the Secretariat on the point of how to define the specific upstream processes and the preliminary assessment procedures because this kind of mechanism is not existent yet. So we would like just some clarifications. Thank you, Mr.
Thank you. Yes,
Chairperson.
exactly. I think Mr. Curtis wants to get the floor. Over to you, Mr. Curtis.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and I thank the honourable delegate from China for a question, which is indeed in the sense of why we proposed this amendment, because precisely at this stage there are no upstream processes or preliminary assessment procedures that we could support. So with with this, by asking the Intergovernmental Open-Ended Working Group to reflect on it, then it means these would need to be established through an intergovernmental process. Effectively, before we could support them, that was the earlier version. So that's why we amended, precisely because they are not there, and that should member states and states parties wish it, then they would need a reflection in order to develop them. I hope that answers the question from the delegate of China, because indeed, we do not have specific upstream processes apart from our completeness check or preliminary assessment procedures at this stage, or not in the sense that was suggested in the beginning. Thank you.
Yeah, I think over to you, China, again, yes, for your comments, yes.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairperson. We do appreciate the clarifications from the Secretariat. And in that case, could it be possible to add to the last sentence to reflect on the possibility to develop these specific upstream and the others?
No.
The Secretariat is working on that, yes. Yes, I think now Jamaica wants the floor. Over to you, Jamaica. The floor is over to you now, it's open to you now, Jamaica.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Jamaica would like to support the amendments and add our name to the amendments in paragraph 7.
Yes, thank you very much. And now Morocco. Yes, over to Morocco, please.
Merci, Monsieur le Président. Je voudrais soutenir évidemment l'amendement proposé par Djibouti et tel qu'amendé aussi par le secrétariat pour pouvoir aller vers le consensus. Simplement, je me demandais s'il ne fallait pas, par rapport au groupe de travail intergouvernemental et la réflexion qui a été proposée, de circonscrire tout cela dans le temps pour que nous ne puissions pas nous retrouver renvoyés à des délais trop longs par rapport à ce processus.
We will come that under 14, item under 14. We can discuss, no problem. So thank you for. I think Brazil wants the floor. Yeah, Brazil wants the floor. Over to you, Brazil, please.
Merci. Thank you, Mr. President. Just to add our country to the list of co-sponsors to this final text, which reflects our original proposal and raises really the important points to be treated in the next meetings of the working group. Thank you.
Thank you. I think Japan wants the floor. Over to you, Japan.
Well, thank you very much. First of all, also we would like to see our name as one of the co-sponsors in this particular paragraph. And also, because there was a question of the working group, well, perhaps on item 14, we will come back to this point, but the working group essentially, if we are given a mandate to continue, the time frame essentially is before the General Assembly in June. So what we will probably need to do is to have maybe 1 or 2 sessions to finalize all the points entrusted to the working group. And then we might need to have an extraordinary session of the committee to approve it and send it to the General Assembly. That is a time frame. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Evan. Thank you very much. Then Botswana. Over to you, Botswana.
Just to add our name to as co-sponsor, Mr. Chairman.
So thank you.
Thank you.
I think we have already included the amendments done by China, and all your comments are welcome. Thank you very much for all the active participation of this debate. I think now, since everybody is agreeable for this, we will go towards adopting paragraph 7. Yes, I see no
Monsieur
objection.
le Président, si vous pouviez juste ajouter le Maroc à la liste des États membres qui soutiennent l'amendement de Djibouti. Merci.
Okay, go ahead. Yeah, okay, it's there. Right? So now, therefore, paragraph 7 on the use of the combined mechanism in this year's cycle. Yeah, I know, the new 7, right? Now, yeah, the new paragraph. You can see on the screen, so we can adopt that. Thank you very much. We have adopted. Now we are moving on to paragraph 8. On the use of combined mechanisms. In this year's cycle, I do not, yeah, combined mechanisms. Yeah, no amendments, I think. Thank you very much. And therefore, I adopted. That is paragraph 8. Now we go to paragraph 9. Congratulating submitting states whose nominations are considered as good examples. That is paragraph 9. I see no objection, and I adopted. And go to paragraph 10 now. Welcoming the diversity of proposals to the register of good safeguarding practices this year. Yes, again no objections, so I adopted. Now go to paragraph 11. Recommending that issues from the evaluation body report be taken into consideration in the ongoing global reflection on the listing mechanisms. I think Kuwait wanted, yeah? Yeah, first I will, yeah, 11. There is no objection. I will just then adopt it. Adopted. A new paragraph, that is 12, proposed by Kuwait. Can I see that? Kuwait, encourage further dialogue. 12. Yes, I think Kazakhstan wants the floor. Over to you, Kazakhstan. The floor is yours now.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. And for the recent sessions, we have witnessed that the dialogue process really facilitates mutual understanding and opens the door to better solutions. As you remember, at 14th session, we discussed the expectations from the dialogue process and upstream. And then in this unlucky COVID period, it was the only and helpful solution. The question of backlog nominations still is pending. And we guess that a lot of new ICH elements could be added to the global lists. That's why my delegation would like to support the amendment prepared by Kuwait. And also, I would like to use this opportunity to express shukra to Saudi Arabia, which noticed this and proposed a new item 7, which we discussed so long. If you allow me, Mr. Chairman, just quick general comment. My delegation, as soon as we are discussing the evaluation body, would like to join the appreciations to the evaluation body itself and its chair lady, who managed to compile all necessary information in a 2-3 introducing paragraphs, noting the important comments related to the proposed draft decision. Also, as mentioned before, I would like to highlight the fact that the discussion of the point 8 this year ran in smooth and friendly atmosphere. This helped to find the consensus and even complete the work, sometimes ahead of schedule for 8A, B, C, D. This is not the frequent case, Mr. Chairman. We believe that your nice manner in handling the debates and your natural live optimism have contributed to it greatly. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much, Kazakhstan. Your nice comments. Okay, thank you very much again. And now, Switzerland. Yes, over to you, Switzerland. The floor is yours now.
Merci, Monsieur le Président. Après ces belles paroles du Kazakhstan, je voudrais reprendre un commentaire et une proposition d'amendement à l'amendement du Koweït. Nous comprenons tout à fait, après avoir suivi toutes les discussions qui ont eu lieu sous le point 8, nous comprenons tout à fait que cet amendement a été proposé et il traite en fait surtout de la question de la manière et du nombre des candidatures. Mais nous avons aussi beaucoup entendu dans les interventions qui ont été faites par de nombreux collègues toute la question de la représentativité régionale a été abordée aussi. Et il nous paraît que c'est une question très importante qui doit avoir toute notre attention. Et donc, en fait, ce que nous voudrions proposer, c'est de compléter l'amendement du Koweït donc à la fin, en continuant l'amendement du Koweït, je vais le dire en français, on ajouterait à la fin en vue d'une meilleure représentation régionale. Ainsi, ça nous permettrait d'avoir les deux dimensions, parce qu'il nous semble que ces deux dimensions, et notamment celle de la représentation régionale, doit vraiment être prise en compte ultérieurement. On est bien conscient que sous le point 14 aussi, cette question sera discutée et que tout cela pourrait aussi être traité sous point 14, mais étant donné que de nombreuses délégations ont abordé ces questions sous point 8, ça peut aussi tout à fait être le cas ici. J'espère que les collègues pourront soutenir et les pays pourront soutenir cette proposition. Je vous remercie.
Yeah, thank you very much. And now, any comments from others? Yeah, Djibouti wants the floor. So, over to you, Djibouti.
Merci, Monsieur le Président. Je voudrais remercier la neutralité de la Suisse qui aujourd'hui, en faisant rentrer dans une meilleure représentation régionale, nous facilite le travail. Monsieur le Président, ma délégation voudrait soutenir l'amendement du Koweït et l'amendement de la Suisse. Merci, Madame l'ambassadeur.
Thank you, thank
C'est
you.
le point de toute la discussion.
Yeah, thank you, Djibouti. Now, I would like to invite Kuwait. Kuwait is there. Can't hear, Kuwait.
Thank you.
Now it's okay.
Thank you.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chair. Let me first start by thanking Switzerland for really great addition It covers all the dimensions, so Kuwait strongly support the addition of Switzerland. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you very much. I think Saudi Arabia needs the floor. Over to you, Saudi Arabia, the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I would like to add our name to the list of supporters to the Kuwaiti amendment and the Switzerland addition. It's a great addition to this amendment. It makes more sense and based on the discussions that we had. Another thing, if you allow me, Your Excellency, I co-sponsor what my colleague from Kazakhstan said about your able leadership, and I think all of us do. And I would like also to congratulate Kazakhstan on their National Day, which is today, 16 December. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And now I would like to give the floor to Botswana. Over to you, Botswana.
We raised our flag to support the Kuwait amendment as further amended by Switzerland.
Okay, thank you very much. And then Japan. The floor is all to you, Japan.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chair. I would also like to support this formulation, the Kuwait proposal as amended by Switzerland. Now, this again, I don't stick to this, but I just wanted to see whether the working group has to have this dialogue or not. I mean, if there's a need to identify where this dialogue takes place, it is okay from our perspective. It is okay for us to do it in the working group. But if the member states want to do it in another setup, that is also fine. Thank you.
Thank you, Japan. Now I would like to invite Brazil. Over to you, Brazil.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Just to add Brazil to the list of co-sponsors of the new paragraph 12 as proposed and amended. Thank you.
Thank you. And next, Azerbaijan. Over to you, Azerbaijan.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Would like also to support the amendment of Kuwait and
thank you.
Kuwait
Okay.
delegation for bringing this issue to the agenda.
Thank you. Sri Lanka. Next, over to Sri Lanka.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Sri Lanka would also like to join with the other members to support the amendment as it appears on the screen now.
Thank you very much. I think Morocco, Cameroon. Shall I? Yeah. Next one, Morocco. Over to Morocco.
Idem pour le Maroc, s'il vous plaît, Monsieur le Président. Je voudrais que le nom du Maroc figure évidemment à ceux qui supportent évidemment l'amendement du Koweït tel qu'amendé par la Suisse. Et puis, je voudrais également revenir sur ce que disait mon collègue ambassadeur du Japon, et c'est très important, et c'était peut-être aussi le sens de ma question tout à l'heure par rapport au fait de circonscrire le travail dans le temps pour que nous puissions avancer relativement rapidement. Et puis donc, je soumets l'appréciation de cet élément, bien sûr, aux membres du comité. Est-ce que ça se fera au niveau du groupe de travail ou d'une quelque autre manière, mais en tout cas, l'élément temps me paraît être extrêmement important. Merci, Monsieur le Président.
Okay, thank you. Then Cameroon.
Merci, Monsieur le Président. Le Cameroun souhaite également figurer sur la liste de soutien à cet amendement du Koweït reformulé ou amélioré par la Suisse. Merci, Monsieur le Président.
Thank you. And then Sweden, over to you, Sweden.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairperson. Sweden would like to be added to the list of supporters for the amendment and also with the amendments of Switzerland. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And next, Côte d'Ivoire, over to you.
Oui, merci, Monsieur le Président. Nous voulons nous joindre à ce soutien-là de la proposition faite par le Koweït. Merci, Monsieur le Président.
Okay, thank you. I think, we have Kuwait, China, Togo, and if everybody agrees to this.
Yes, good. Yeah.
How about Botswana? Yeah, I just want to know, Do you want to support or say something else? And if you want to say something else, please raise your hand. Yeah, scratching the head is not, don't worry. Okay. Yeah. Kuwait. Over to Kuwait. The floor is over to you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chair. Just to reflect what our colleague, Ambassador of Japan said, it's a valid point where we went to that dialogue, which is, our attention to be in the working group. So if you can reflect that on the draft resolution, and that's what our colleague from Japan was saying, if I'm correct. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Thank you. China? Over to you, China.
Thank you, Mr. Chairperson. First, we would like to express our support to this proposal by the delegation of Kuwait. And just two more small questions regarding to this amendment. As I understand, the dialogue mentioned here in the sentence is different from the dialogue process between the evaluation body and the submitting states.
Yes, of course.
In order to avoid any misunderstanding or any confusion, I don't know whether we need any little bit adjustment of the word here, because we do believe that we understand this dialogue means that we need more discussion or more consultation on this issue. And we really appreciate that the delegation of Kuwait calls our attention on this backlog issue. This is really a remaining issue within the listing mechanism. And we do support this rationale behind this proposal. And the second question is that could we just requested the Secretariat to give us some idea the current status of the backlog files? Because we just remember that during the previous sessions, the committee did call upon the states parties to withdraw their backlog files. And we don't know how the progress of this call by now. So we just like get some specific ideas on the current progress on this issue. Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much. I would like now to go to Brazil. Over to you, Brazil.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Sorry for asking for the floor again. I just wanted to support with what has just been said by the ambassador of Kuwait. This subject, this discussion, from our point of view, has to be treated in the working group. We cannot now make another forum of discussion. The working group has worked very well with great participation, many ideas, a lot of time, enough time to discuss all the subjects that we have to discuss in the life of our convention. We are convinced that we have to go on with the works of the working group on the same basis. It's not the moment to create a new forum to discuss all those questions. Let's go on with the mechanism which has already proved to work well. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you. And now I would like to give the floor to Jamaica. Over to Jamaica.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. With the clarification from my colleague in Kuwait, Jamaica wishes to add its support to the amendment. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, I think for clarifications and explanations, I would like to give the floor to Mr. Tim Curtis, the Secretary. Over to you, Tim.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. No, I just think there was a specific question that was asked about the situation of the backlog files. So allow me to read the current situation of the backlog files. We have a total of 129 backlog files at the moment, 16 backlog files in Group 1, meaning 12%, 14 backlog files in Group 2, meaning 11%, 4 backlog files in group 3, meaning 3%. 75 backlog files in group 4, meaning 58%. 7 backlog files in group 5A, meaning 5%. 13 backlog files in group 5B, meaning 10%. So that is the current situation of backlog files. They could, we could, yeah, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you very much for the explanation, Mr. Curtis. Now, I think now we can come to a consensus about this. But yeah. Yeah, now you can see the draft decision. Yeah, can we adopt now? Yes, there's no objection. So therefore, I adopt this draft decision adopted. So we have now adopted each of the paragraphs, and we need to adopt the decision as a whole. That is draft decision 16.com.8 in total. Yes, I see no objection. Yes, therefore, I declare decision 16.com.8 adopted. Now, let us move to the next. That is, yeah. Give us few seconds. Yes, now we move on now to item 19. Okay? Before we start, I think China needs the floor. Over to you, China.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairperson. I'm sorry for asking for the floor because I just planned to make this intervention before we start the draft decision of item 8. But actually, unfortunately, we did have some technical problem and we got disconnected at that time. So if you may allow me, so I would like to take this opportunity to make my intervention before we move on to the next item. So if you may, Mr. Chairperson, I would like just to make this intervention under this item 8.
Yeah, I think I have to discuss with the Secretariat about this. I think it's difficult now. Yeah?
No, it's up to you, Mr. Chair.
Yes? Yes, because since everything is over, it's difficult now. Yes. So, I think now, China, please tell your comment again, your decision. We are in a difficult situation, so therefore, please, over to you, back. Your final decision, your final comment. We would like to get that.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chairperson. I will be make it very brief. Mr. Chairperson, my delegation would like to extend our warm congratulations to all the state parties that have their nominations inscribed, proposals selected, and international assistance approved, particularly to those state parties for their very first inscriptions, as well as those state parties submitted well-elaborated files, which could serve as good examples. And we would also like to express our satisfaction with the tremendous work by the evaluation body. This year, we've seen a bigger number of inscriptions. And also this year marks the 15th anniversary of the 2003 convention, since its entry into force in 2006. The convention has now 180 states parties in total. And we believe that all of states parties have made achievements, accumulated experiences, and draw lessons during the implementation of the convention at different levels. I would like to share some observations. First, since the first version of the operational directive was adopted in 2008, the consultative bodies established by the committee, be it a subsidiary body or consultative body or evaluation body for now, would summarize the overall evaluation work of each cycle with their observations and reviews during the work, paying particularly attention to those recurring issues or issues. As we can recall, the committee reviewed several thematic and studies on periodic reports from 2014 to 2018. So we are wondering if the similar in-depth studies and analysis could be possibly carried out as well, based on these reports of the evaluation body, in a view to providing suggestions and guidelines for the nomination work and the safeguarding of ICH as a whole, as well as for awareness raising of the spirits and principles of the convention. This could also be used as a reference for the ongoing global reflection on the listing mechanism. Second, we've noticed that during the evaluation and examination cycles, some names of the ICH elements submitted for inscription on the lists tends to be just focused on physical objects, be it an instrument or a fabric or food or some dish. This issue of naming the elements is concerned with understanding of the core value of ICH, its identification and definition, as well as the understanding of the purpose of the lists and the register. According to the convention, the physical objects are just carriers or a way of expression of ICH. So we would like to call on the states parties to pay due attention to this issue, which is easily to be neglected. Once the nominations are inscribed, they could send out clear signals to the world with value guidance if the element is just only named as an object. It would result in some possible offsetting from the value of the convention and cause unnecessary confusion. We would like to invite the committee and the evaluation body in their evaluation and examination work to take this small but important issue into consideration to seek modifications in any way to those names of the elements already inscribed, and also highlight it in the future work for the coming cycles. We believe this is also a kind of awareness raising and a reflection in the view of the sustainable development of the convention and the safeguarding of ICH. I thank you so very much for your attention, Mr. Chair.
Yes, it's so nice of you, and we well noted all your comments. So thank you very much. Thank you very much, China. So now moving forward,